everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rose and today we're playing through the different variants of Slay the Princess. And this one's an exciting one because I've just found out how this one works out. You are curious about how any of these work. I 100% recommend Manly Badass Heroes playthrough of this. I have a link down below in my description. I'll try to make sure I get it in for one of my videos going forward. But definitely take a look at those and see how he goes through it. He is a completionist and he's gone through probably every single one as I'm just stumbling through this. So we are going to just transition to saves. This is what we were before. I'm sure you wanted to save. Oh, no. We want to return. There we go. Around the path in the woods. At the end of the path is a cabin, and in the basement of the cabin is a princess.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
The princess seems kind of bad, though.
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Consider that maybe I'm okay with the world ending?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
I mean, maybe. What in the world? What are you talking about? You say that she gets supposed to do this. Guess I'm not doing this. Do I get some sort of reward? Silently continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Oh.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay. Blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Knock, knock.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
I'm just gonna open up a little bit in volume. There we go. Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
yeah, I am gonna kill you or something. I'm just here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
I have my reasons. I think I just come here to kill someone like that. Really? That'd be ridiculous.
And yet you hesitated the moment you saw me. And you dropped your knife.
You
If
asked me
killing me was really that important, you'd have a little more gumption, don't you think?
to. Honey, I'm not the one forcing you. Look like you could easily get out of that, no problem.
So, someone put you up to this, right? And whoever it is, it's probably the same someone who shoved me into this dark pit and chained me to a wall.
That's a fair question. Who chained her in this basement, and if she's so dangerous, how did they manage to trap her? And why have we been left to do their dirty work? Don't give away the game, and don't let her distract you. That's exactly what she wants.
I'm right, aren't I? So who put you up to this?
What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Yas, Queen.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Yeah, sort of reminds me of someone else. Do you know why I'm here to kill you?
Do you?
No.
You're lying.
How does she know that?
Don't think that just because I'm the one in chains, it means you have a right to interrogate me.
Okay, talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here. unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurt! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around.
Let's see. Do we want... Give up.
Are you serious? As internal bleeding sets in, the blade falls from your trembling hands, clattering to the ground uselessly. You lacked the will to finish the job, your bruised and broken body falling to its knees before her. The princess, exhausted, chest heaving with heavy breaths, tosses the blade away from you. This is the end, isn't it?
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She plants her foot on your chest and pushes you onto your back, the air leaving your lungs in a heavy puff. And then she brings her knee to your throat. She leans into it with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess, shattering your windpipe and leaving you starved for breath.
It's too bad. I was looking forward to some company.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Okay, not what I expected.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're on a path.
I know what we have to do. Into the basement. Continue
Good.
downstairs. Oh, shoot. Load. Yeah, load. That one.
You're on a path.
To the cabin. Proceed to the cabin. Take the blade. Into the basement. Continue down the stairs.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
Still nervous and step forward.
You step forward.
I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Drop the blade.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands,
Yeah,
and
pretty awkward. I do have my reasons. What's your name? Bring it down here. You know why I'm gonna kill you? Do you? No, you're lying. Okay. Princess.
doubt, unfortunately, clouds your...
Finish the job.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here, either. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Yeah, now we're talking.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
I'm so glad we saved.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Wait, has this already
It
happened?
hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning. That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill.
Just let my partner know what I'm doing. Okay. I did send that, right? I did. Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there, so don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear?
Crystal, let's just get on with it already.
Proceed to the cabin. See a certain thing. I am using a bit of a wiki.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
You didn't say anything about the mirror.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Oh, stop bickering and just get on with it. Who even cares if there's a mirror?
I care about whether I'm being
As do I. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
using my eyes.
You walk up to the... This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting. No knife this time. Right then, fisticuffs it is. Probably more fair to her anyway. Wouldn't want to feel like we cheated our way to a win. As long as you can still get the job done, and don't forget that the blade is waiting for you upstairs if you happen to change your mind. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, a large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. But no little knife this time, huh? No, I hope you're not just here to chat. I've been itching for a rematch.
You look different.
Aside from your empty hands, you look exactly the same.
All right, fine. I believe you. What? What you said earlier in the woods, I believe you. You've already met the princess, and the princess has already met you. That's all the more reason to take this seriously. You don't know that whatever brought the two of you back to life isn't a fluke. And beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember.
Sure you don't.
Are you okay? Of course I'm not okay! As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
Just because it bothers you, I'm taking this less seriously. You know the depths of my apathy.
You're joking, right? I'm just going to pretend that you're joking.
Yeah, you better be joking. We can't win unless you take this seriously.
Oh, don't worry, I'm always up for a good fight. In fact, the only reason I came down here without a weapon is because having a knife felt unfair.
Then why are you just standing there? Fight me.
I'm gonna explore this on my own time. Because I want to see how this goes out. So, we're gonna get a thing happen here. Yeah, we're just gonna attack her.
I guess we'll have to see how this goes. Your hands empty, you charge the princess.
Quit the pessimism, will you?
Right? It's almost like you don't want us to beat her. No, look, I'm rooting for you, I really am. I'm just doing my best to keep my expectations grounded. You don't have a weapon. You're supposed to have a weapon.
We'll be fine. Just watch.
You attack, fists raised, and the two of you fall into combat. Your clawed fingers tear into her flesh, and her fists and elbows return the blows in kind, bruises blossoming in her wake, and blood vessels rupturing in vivid sprays of gore.
Not bad. You're tougher than I thought you'd be.
Hear that? She respects us. We can pull this off.
Yeah, you're right.
But without that knife, you'll never be enough.
Her knee connects with your sternum with a loud, violent crack. The wind leaves your lungs, and as you struggle for breath, you can feel something flooding in to fill the space. Hot blood, suffocating you from the inside.
You have to want to kill me. Like this.
You don't so much as see her movement before she deals the killing blow. Everything goes dark, and you die. Are you serious? That's it? That's it.
Like hell it is. We're not giving up that easy. Now get up.
Didn't you hear me? You're dead. There's no getting up from that. Wait,
Get up.
no, that's not right. You're...
Not dead anymore.
Yes. Your eyes bolt open and you push yourself back to your feet. You're alive. The princess takes a step back and looks down at her pulp-covered fists.
I could have sworn I killed you. That's your face splattered on the walls and dripping from my hands.
Wait, no, my face? You're joking, right? You're exaggerating. Still have my face right here. Still my face, right?
You don't. I don't even know how you're talking to me.
You raise your hands and touch the front of your head. She's not wrong.
What? What did she do? What are we missing?
Who cares if we're missing our face? We can fight just fine without one.
Attack the princess.
The two of you clash once more. It's not as one-sided as I feared, but it's still a far cry from what I'd hoped. Her injuries, though numerous, pale in comparison to yours, and the wounds you've inflicted upon her barely seem to have slowed her down. As much as you're trying...
This is getting boring. Are you even trying to keep up with me?
She lands another devastating... no, lethal blow. Everything goes dark. Again. And you die. Again.
You know what I'm going to say.
That we're not dead?
Yeah, that we're not dead. Come on, get up. If we can just keep going, we're bound to wear her down eventually.
Are you sure she can't do what we're doing right now?
There's only one way to find out.
Get up.
Once more, you push yourself back to your mangled feet.
How are you still moving? How are you still doing anything? Bodies aren't supposed to look like that.
An uncharacteristic terror seems to grip her voice. Have we ever seen her afraid before? No, we haven't.
This is how we win. We can do this forever.
I'm going to put you out of your misery. I don't like looking at you like this. You're all twitching and wrong.
I'd like to see her try. We're invincible.
Her fist flies towards where your face used to be, your twisted body incapable of moving out of the way. And then you see nothing.
Everything goes dark and we die?
Yes, something like that. Well, don't you have something to say?
Yeah, I quit.
I'll hear a bell, fight the full unarmed to get to the distance.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path...
All right, change of plans. We're taking the blade this time.
Now why would we ever do that?
Because she absolutely destroyed us?
She sure did, but what a great way to go.
We lost our face.
Yes, it was hilarious. It was horrifying.
Does it matter? We lost.
Oh, why so glum, Rage Boy? I thought you were brave. I thought you were proud. Was all that bravado just hot air?
Look, it was just... The fight was better the first time, and the first time we had a weapon. Well, this is just great. Let me cut to the chase. Clearly you've already been here.
Yeah, you think? What does here even mean, though? You've told us about the path of the princess and all of that already, but this is a very different path than the last one.
That's a good point. Everything here is a little off.
Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that.
Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods if reality seems distorted. It's because reality is distorted.
So you knew this could happen? You knew we'd be able to restart like this?
Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously.
Wasn't taking things seriously. Thank you very much. Feels like I'm being pulled in different directions by all this money and choice. I just stay here. It's my turn. It seems like our answers are. Might as well just
Good, we're all on the same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her.
That's it? No final words of advice?
I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard.
Don't be so hard on yourself. We all wind up in creative ruts now and then. I'm sure if you put your mind to it, you could think of something worth telling us.
The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten. There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat. That's horrible.
I think it's kind of nice. Makes the room feel alive, doesn't it?
The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
We'll need it if we want to do things right.
I say we leave it to rust. Let's not make the same mistake twice. We could have won if we had it last time. Take it. There is no mirror. There's
The pedestal, the blade sitting on the pedestal, and the door to the basement.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror. You're either seeing things or you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror.
Or you're seeing things. That seems far more likely.
What are you trying to say exactly? It means you're hallucinating.
went away after we touched it last time. Let's just do it again.
You take the blade from the pedestal. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel.
That's no fun. And you're not even holding it right. Oh. And how do you suggest we hold it?
The other way. Shut up, both of you. We're holding it fine.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You really don't, do you? How strange. It really is just like last time. Are we really hallucinating? Why here? Why now? Does it matter if it's actually real or not? Talking about it gets under his skin. That's all that matters. We should talk about it even more.
Let's just smash it and get it over with. I'm ready to get violent.
We won't be able to see what's in there if we smash it. Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time. You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? You step forward into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high-vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence, the metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
So you've returned. Do you intend to weakly claw your fingers across my skin? Or have you finally decided to try and kill me properly? I think you'll find it won't be so simple. I've changed. The way your flesh felt grinding beneath my fist, it woke something in me.
Did it?
That wasn't a fight. It was something worse. I'm something worse now. Why don't you come down and see what you've made of me?
Do you hear that?
Well, sounds like we got to her last time. Let's keep pushing, see what else we can make happen.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls are painted in blood, a deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone. The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
Step on me.
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. Then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings. She is loose, and she is coming for you.
She wants us to be afraid because she wants us to think she can make us suffer.
Don't give her the satisfaction.
That's right, no fear. She's bigger than the last time, but she's pulling herself apart. She's practically done most of the work for us.
You'll try. And that's what I've been so excited for. Let's hurt each other.
Your heart free of fear, you charge towards the princess, your eyes locked on each other, both of you prepared to lay down your very essence in one blow. It's now or never. Let's make it a beautiful blaze of glory. With a horrifying squelch, you are unwound.
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever. Huh. I feel cold. I've never felt cold before.
To their word, do not die by her hand. Normally ever. It's time to leave.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we... Oh, there's that mirror again. This doesn't fit. Yeah, don't look at it. I don't like that thing. Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
This is very small, distant as we approach. Silence as we reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave. We need to see what's in it. Move unraveled. Find yourself in all the things in there. You're at the cabin. Approaching.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
Do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is desecration. She placed the weight of her agony on you, yet it is she who unwound herself. But there is passion and empathy in her misery. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
And with that, we're actually going to load. I'm going to go back here. So, this, yes. The blade's upstairs. I'll be right back.
I'll be waiting.
You make your way back up the stairs to the cabin above. The princess, surprisingly true to her word, lets you leave. The blade remains where you left it, on the wrought iron altar. Great. Now pick it up and march back down there. I'm tired.
Yeah, you take the blade.
You take the blade from the altar.
This is where to fight to the death. Return to the basement.
Blade in hand, you make your way back down the basement stairs. You find the princess waiting for you, just where you left her. See? I knew we could trust her. I told you we could trust her.
Glad to see you finally stopped having cold feet. I could barely wait. My skin is practically crawling with anticipation.
Fight me. Now.
Tentacles.
Finally ready to complete your destined task, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess. Here we go. Let's make this count.
Oh, we'll make it count, all right.
As you bridge the gap, your blade slashes across the princess's chest, splitting skin and drawing a jagged line of bright red blood. But she's unfazed by your onslaught. Her expression barely changes as her fist collides with your ribs, cracking them like twigs and driving you right back down to the basement floor. You can hear her chains snap as you struggle to recover from the impact. She almost looks disappointed in us. Why is she disappointed in us?
Oh, you don't actually get it, do you? That knife may be sharp, but you clearly don't want to kill me. It's not fun if you hesitate. It's not fun if you try to trick me and make me bleed out. It's only fun if you go straight for the heart. You need to put everything you have into seeing me dead. Or what's the point? So don't be afraid. Don't hesitate. Kill me.
Don't let her get in your head. Reincarnation or not, this world needs you to win. She's huge, but that probably means she's slower than us. Take it slow, think it through, and don't panic. Bleeding her out is our best course of action. Don't listen to them. She understands something that they don't. The only way to win, the only way out of this is through her. Push yourself off the ground and attack the princess, trying to bait an opening. You do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered remains of her white dress. But you have little room to maneuver. For every glancing blow you manage to land, she slams you against the wall in retaliation, each impact threatening to be the last. This weak little dance isn't working. Just toughen up and overpower her. She's throwing us around like a ragdoll. I think overpowering her is a little out of the question.
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
The princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head, fingers gripping your skull.
How disappointing.
She squeezes, the pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into your scalp. The last thing you hear is the unsettling crack of your skull and the sickening churn of what was your grey matter. Everything goes dark, and you die.
There we go.
You're on a path in the wood. If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there.
Enter the cabin.
The interior of the cabin
nice.
is long and dark. Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it. So what? You'd have us cower in a corner? No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping?
Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. Then what is going on? What's going on is that you'd only be saying the things you've been saying if you'd already been here, and if you'd already seen things you weren't supposed to have seen. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other, and I don't trust you. Well, fortunately, you have an entire trip through the woods to reconsider that.
There's nothing to reconsider. We're all for violence here.
Are we? I haven't signed off on anything yet. Violence is the answer here, but the method is equally important to the act. You can't let her leave the cabin. It's like I said, all just circles. Instinct tells me we need space, and I trust instinct. Nothing else to say. Not for me. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind.
I don't know. Screaming sounds pretty good right about now.
I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us, something to chase. The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall. A pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. See? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there. Take it. You take the blade from the altar. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Or our skins, really.
Good. There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much a part of us as any. Maybe it'll go away again. For something to go away, it would have to be there to begin with. And let me assure you, there's no mirror here. The only thing at the end of the room is the door to the basement. No use arguing. Mirror or not, we need to be there. The why we pick doesn't matter.
I agree with the freak. Let's get a move on already. And worst comes to worst, we can smash it.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it. You're rather committed to the bit, aren't you? The door's right there, it's right in front of you.
This really is just like last time.
It smells of nothing, yet it's still there. You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead.
Why am I not surprised? It was in our way, and now it's not. That's all that matters.
Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time?
That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Goda, rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes. You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember every crack and crevice. You'll need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling! Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh, break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, and let her become frenzied. She'll break them. Then we run. I really don't like the sound of this. It's the only way we live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
The princess scoffs.
Oh, you're up to something tricky, aren't you? You're teasing me with what I want, but I'm sick of waiting. I'm not going to let you give me another bad fight. I'm going to get what I want.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run.
Bend and snap. Run.
Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
Good. You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same? Little bird, where do you think you're going?
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll take the fight with us. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. So get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me! Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head!
Do it! Be swift, strike true, be where she's not, let your body move you. You leap from the grass and bound towards the princess, keeping low.
Charging me head on? Brave and foolish.
Her body braces for impact, anticipating the clash. That's where you're both wrong. Left, now! As the princess strikes, your body swerves to the left. She overextends, stumbling as her balance shifts unexpectedly. Strike. Before you can finish the thought, you lash out, the blade slicing through her leg. She turns to swing again. Right.
You move out of the way, but this time it's not quite as clean. You can feel a bruise already blooming where her elbow crashed into flesh. It's nothing. A scratch. Yes, it could be worse. And you managed to gift her another cut in return. I'll be damned. We're actually going to pull this off, aren't we? You just might. But don't let it get to your head. Not until it's over.
Yes, finally! This is the hole I felt in my heart. This is what I've needed. This is what I've been missing. This is how it always needed to end. Both of us giving it our all, beating and bleeding each other to death.
The two of you engage in a devastating flurry of blows, each of you wielding the other again and again. She's stronger, but you're faster, and the deeper the both of you fall into your lethal dance, the more your edge shines over hers. She's slowing down, blood pouring from wounds, splattering at her feet, leaving her weak and unsteady. More! Keep going! We can't stop now! You spy an opening, but this time she's waiting for you. She lets you sink the blade deep, trapping you in place long enough to wrap you in her impenetrable arms. You're slammed to the ground. Nothing! These blows are nothing to us! But her gambit wasn't enough to close the gap. It wasn't enough to kill you. She stares you down, coughing up a splash of blood as she gasps for breath.
You've outplayed me, haven't you? Something feels wrong. Something.
And? Then what happens? She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. That thing reeks of death. Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there?
There's trees and stars and people. At least I think they're supposed to be people.
There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
Do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one yearns to grow and struggle. Even now I feel a will pushing against mine, not realizing that we are one. She will make for a fierce heart.
So what do y'all think? I will replay this off screen, but do we want to go with this one, or do we want to go with the Fury before, or do we want to go with this one, which is the Eye of the Needle? Whichever one you want to go with. Let me know in the comments down below.
Do not mourn her. We will provide her with the growth she fought for.
I'll decide, I'll let y'all decide in the comments down below, but yeah, in the meantime, we're gonna leave that unsaved, and just go back to the main menu. So I want to thank you all so much for coming and enjoying this playthrough with me. If you like what you saw here, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you are interested and anything like that, I have a Patreon down below, which, by the way, I'd like to thank my one and only patron, Murdoch, for being for supporting me at the $5 tier. Feel free to take a look at the link down below in the description to see my Patreon link, where you can find loads of other perks as well as a shout out in a future video. Your support does not have to be financial. It can also help. You can also help by liking, commenting, and subscribing, and even sharing the video that you saw today, or any of the videos that I have. They're all nice little. This one's a little bit longer because I wanted to see the different paths, because this one I did not discover out of watching anyone else. This one I discovered just looking online for different paths and stuff, because I want to show some different paths. And this one I want to give y'all the choice to see which way I go. And once I get enough there, I am going to do a final episode. But let me know what you all think, and I will see you all in the next one. In the meantime, piss off your narrators and happy farming.